What up? It's your boy Wall Street Hit My Line, and I'm ready to hit your line with some news because this NBA trade deadline has been off the chain. Crazy. But finally, as we all pretty much thought, the Jimmy Butler era in Miami has come to an end. And he is going to none other than the Golden State Warriors in a 4-team trade that involves the Miami Heat, the Golden State Warriors, the Utah Jazz, and the Detroit Pistons. So let's dive into it. So obviously, as you all know, Jimmy Butler has been trying his absolute hardest to get fired by Pat Riley, if you will. And instead of trading him quickly, Pat Riley was like, nah, you're suspended. We're going to take your money. Yada, yada, whoop-de-whoop. You know what I'm saying? Pat Riley is not playing this game. He does not give a about Jimmy and what his priorities are. Does not care. So, Jimmy Butler was suspended 3 times by the Heat before he actually winded up getting traded to the Warriors. And what I find interesting is right after this news came out, it was announced that Jimmy Butler is going to forego his player option for next year and instead sign a 2-year extension worth $121 million. So to me, this says Jimmy was about the money all along, which is fine. He's 35 years old. He's got to get his paper. I get it. Totally get it. But I just think this is a bad look for him, period. And frankly, I don't think this really makes the Warriors better because the Warriors did give up Andrew Wiggins in this trade. The Warriors also sent out Lindy Waters, who has been great for them. They also sent out Dennis Schröder, who they got from the Nets earlier this season. And I actually thought it was kind of, funny and ironic that, Schröder said earlier on in his press conference with the Warriors when he got traded that, his son was excited because now they're on a good team. Well, now he's going to an even worse team they started on in the Utah Jazz, who are the second worst team in the league. So I am feeling for you, Dennis, and I hope, you have a good time in Utah. It's beautiful out there, but, you're not going to win a lot of games. But, you'll start your vacation early. It'll be all good. You know what I mean? So it'll be fine. It'll be fine. But let's dive into the real nitty-gritty here. So the Heat are getting back Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, and PJ Tucker, as well as a 2025 first-round pick that has protections on it. I believe it's top 10 protected. The Warriors receive Jimmy Butler, the Jazz receive Dennis Schröder, and the Pistons receive Lindy Waters and Josh Richardson. So Jimmy's obviously, as I say, he's going to sign that extension. I don't know if this really gives the Warriors much, right? I just think now you have 2 really volatile personalities on your team in Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green. And, is this giving Steph Curry a better chance to win a championship? I mean, I think the reason they made this move is so that they can give Steph as great of a chance as possible to really win another championship before he calls it quits, right? Because Steph is not leaving the Warriors. He's going to be there for life. That's my personal opinion. But I don't know how many years he has left. Steph Curry's also getting up there in age. So, I don't know what it's going to do. I really can't sit here and tell you that Jimmy Butler is just going to make their team much better. Jimmy Butler's had a lackluster season, for the Heat so far, but I think that's in part to him just like not really wanting to be there. He's averaging 17 points per game this season. And, he's only played 25 games, playing 30 minutes a game. He's not doing what he usually did, So for context, he was averaging 20.8 points per game last season and was playing 34 minutes a game, right? He was also taking 13 shots as opposed to 10. So he just hasn't been as aggressive. Hasn't been the Jimmy that we know. And, he can be great. Don't get me wrong. He can be great. But I don't know if he's gonna be. And I don't know if it's gonna be. The West is a much harder conference. Like the Heat have consistently been able to get into the playoffs. And once they get into the playoffs, they do very well because a guy like Jimmy turns it on when it matters most. A guy like Steph Curry turns it on when it matters most. A guy like Draymond Green turns it on when it matters most. It's going to be hard for them to get into the playoffs at this point, let alone the play-in, because you just trade away Lindy Waters, who's been a great role player for them. They trade away Kyle Anderson, also been a great role player for them. And Dennis Schröder as well, also been a great player to have, has given Steph Curry the ability to kind of play a little bit more off the ball when they're both on the court. And I don't really understand why the Warriors thought this was a good idea. I don't know if they thought it was a good idea or they're like, we just have to do this. Not to mention you lose Andrew Wiggins as well. And Andrew Wiggins is 29 years old. He hasn't been, great. I will say that. But he's getting paid a lot less than Jimmy, basically half his salary. He's under contract for next year and then there's a player option for the following year. But, I don't really know. I think he's, just because he hasn't been named an all-star as many times as Jimmy, hasn't been to the finals as much as Jimmy, he's still good. He's averaging 17.6 points per game. He's playing 30 minutes a game, shooting 38% from three. I don't know. I don't know how I really feel about this trade. I really don't think the Warriors are going to improve from this. And, you give up. I mean, I guess their pick is still top 10 protected. So if this trade really goes downhill, and they finish, deeper in the lottery than I thought originally, and they wind up with the 8th or 9th pick, at least they'll be able to keep their pick. But I just hope Jimmy Butler doesn't mess up their, vibe as a team. I think the organization is a little bit different than the Heat. The Heat do not play any bull. Does not matter. I don't think the Warriors do either, but, I don't know as much about their, behind the scenes type of stuff than I do about the Heat. So I don't know. But I do think Andrew Wiggins is going to be a good fit in Miami. I think they're going to figure out how to get the best out of Andrew Wiggins. I think Tyler Hero is going to step up now. He already has, with Jimmy being, kind of not part of the team, if you will. I think Bam Adebayo is going to step up. I think it's going to be a good thing moving forward for the Heat. And, I don't really know what to think. I guess I really won't know until Jimmy starts playing minutes consistently for the Warriors. I think, Kyle Anderson's another good piece for the Heat to get. PJ Tucker, hard-nosed defender, kind of a smaller guy. The thing I love about PJ Tucker is I remember the graphic from when he was on the Rockets and, he was playing center. And PJ Tucker is 6'5". So they had all of the starting Western Conference centers lined up on a graphic. And PJ Tucker is just a half a foot shorter than all of them. So, but he doesn't care. He plays that way. And I love players like that, play out of position. Or I guess I shouldn't say that. He's playing his position. He's just not, he doesn't have the body type that you would typically expect to play that position. But he does it, and, he fits a niche in the NBA. So shout out to PJ Tucker. I'm a big fan. But yeah, I don't even know what to really say about this. I see CBS Sports gave the grade, to the Warriors on the trade. They give him a B+. So I don't know. I mean, by the time Jimmy's new contract extension is up, he's going to be 38 years old. He's probably going to retire. So if they don't win in the next 3 years, that's going to really show us if this trade was good or not. But I think Pat Riley just did what he had to do. At the end of the day, I don't think it's a bad trade. I think it's better than a lot of people are giving, the Heat credit for, because Jimmy really hurt them in a sense. It's hard to really get a lot back for a guy when he's just going to leave any way he can, right? If I tried to offer you something, but you're going to wind up getting it, a year from now, if you don't get it right now, you're probably going to be like, okay, well, maybe I can just wait, I just don't really understand why Jimmy did it this way. He could have gone about it a little bit quieter. And maybe he tried to. I don't know. I don't know what all the behind the scenes, what went down. But when you publicly have this type of episode with your team, it just makes it hard because they're kind of handcuffed to trade you now. So if they're handcuffed to trade you, they're going to just get offered less because they have to trade you. So, it's not like another team has to convince them to make the trade. They're going to trade you. They're just going to take the best offer. So if everyone's going to start lowballing, you're not going to get as many good offers. So again, I think Pat Riley did the best he could. And at the end of the day, just trading Jimmy and getting him out of that situation is just the best thing he could have did for that team, because continuing to have that type of distraction, you're not going to be able to make it far as a team. Your chemistry is going to be all messed up. Your fans are going to be in disarray. Like, it's all a mess. So hats off to Pat Riley. I like the Warriors being gutsy and trying to make this move. I do think, from a defensive perspective, Jimmy Butler is definitely going to be a better fit over Andrew Wiggins. But I just think they gave up a lot of their role players. So, maybe Buddy Hield will step up a little bit more now. I don't know. But it's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting. Brandon Pajemski is going to have to step up a little bit more now as well. So we'll see what happens. But as I said, the Jimmy Butler era in Miami is officially over. He did certainly do a lot while he was there. Jimmy Butler in the bubble was amazing. That was a really fun time to be watching basketball. Jimmy Butler against the Nuggets in the 2023 NBA Finals, also a great show. I mean, just seeing the Heat, go from the play-in to the NBA Finals, I think it really did a lot for NBA and its fans, just showing any team can make it now. We've come a long way from the super team era where it was very, very predictable who was going to be in the finals every year and who, the good teams were going to be. And it's not like that anymore. You still obviously have powerhouse teams, like the Celtics, the Thunder, the Cavs, the Rockets, but it's, they rotate pretty quickly. No one saw this coming from the Rockets this season. People know the OKC Thunder are just, the richest team in the league, basically. They just keep getting better and better because they have a stash of draft picks. Sam Presti is just a basketball savant, one of the smartest people in the NBA. And the Celtics are just a storied franchise, also built very well. Their chemistry is great. Joe Mazzulla is an amazing coach. So you have these great teams, but they can get upset too. So I think, Jimmy Butler, even though his time in Miami is coming to an end, that era showed me a lot as a fan that anything's possible. Like KG said, anything is possible. So I want to know what you guys think, though. What do you think about this trade? Who do you think won? Who do you think lost? Do you think, this is a good trade for the Warriors, the Heat, the Pistons, the Jazz? I want to know. Let me know what you think. So please leave some comments down below. As always, if you enjoyed the video, I would greatly appreciate you leaving a like. Helps me, helps the channel, helps YouTube know that you like this type of content, and they'll keep pushing it your way. And if you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would like to stay in touch with you. So, hit that subscribe button and we get to talk a lot more. It'll be great. But without further ado, I'm going to let you guys go. It's late. I'm going to go hit the hay. But exciting stuff today. Lots of trades. This NBA trade deadline week has been absolutely wild, crazy. And it might get even more exciting tomorrow. So we'll see what happens before 3 p.m. Eastern on February the 6th. That's Thursday. So I will catch you guys soon. Peace out.